Tonight on SUTV News, have a taste of Adams County.
And it's that time of year again. Find out why men are throwing out their razors this month.
All that and more coming up right now. Thank you for joining us on SUTV News. I'm Louis DeSanto.
And I'm Marina Barnett. The Shippensburg University website has a new look. Current students are having a hard time adjusting to the site, but the Director of Instructional Design and Web Technologies, Justin Sense, explains the reasoning behind the new look.
Looking at prospective students as a primary audience and trying to get them to the information they needed in terms of requesting information as they're looking at colleges and universities, setting up a visit on campus, applying.
The new website is live and you can visit it at www.ship.edu. High school students are finding out what it's like to be a college art student thanks to the Coffman Gallery. The second annual Scholastic 144 exhibit features high school students from Pennsylvania and Maryland.
Every art teacher in those 22 counties was eligible to submit 5 pieces of their best student art.
Exhibit goers can even buy the students' art.
And so frequently with exhibits like this, we may sell 2 or 3 pieces. The gallery does not take a commission, so all of the proceeds from the sale go directly to the artist.
The Coffman Gallery puts on the exhibit to show the community what the Shippensburg Art Department does.
Well, not only to recruit students here at SHIP, but also to make the larger regional community more aware of what Shippensburg University has to offer and its services.
The high school art exhibit will be up until November 21st.
A new industry is sweeping the nation. Its roots stem right next door in Adams County. Andrew Robinson has more.
Grower in Adams County. He grows apples that eventually become hard cider. He says Adams County is the best place to grow them.
There's something about our soils here that produce a very good tasting apple. One of the good things we have is days like today where it's cool, crisp, low humidity, bright sunshine, cool nights help color the apples.
Jeff Musselman makes hard cider at Hauser Estate Winery. What differentiates the apples in his cider from the rest is not just the climate, but also freshness.
We're not putting apples into storage and then trucking them across the country. It's kind of akin to the grocery store tomato. You know, you get it, it looks good, but then when you take a bite out of it, it's not as good as the one grown right out of your garden.
A fifth-generation farmer at Boyer's Nursery, Emma Lauer says the microclimate of the region adds to the effect.
As we have south-facing slopes, which are contributed from the terrain in South Mountain in this region, it's kind of its own little microclimate.
Pickers begin harvesting the apples off these trees in the very early morning. From there, they are sent that same day to cider makers where they start the production process to turn this into hard cider.
During apple harvest, we start out early in the morning. I'm usually out by 6, getting the water jugs ready, getting the tractors ready, other equipment.
Next time you pour a cup of hard cider, make sure it comes from Adams County. Andrew Robinson, SUTV News.
More on how you can visit hard cideries in Adams County, visit our website, sutvnews.com. The month of November is dedicated to creating awareness for men's health. Students came together on Monday to start the Movember activities.
I was diagnosed it was January of 2004.
Men across campus are growing mustaches this month in support of Movember to raise awareness for men's health, and Monday was the annual shave-off event. The Shippensburg Interfraternity Council will be holding events all month to raise awareness, and for this, cancer survivor Jeff Cardisco is thankful.
A month dedicated to raising awareness, making sure men understand that these things can happen to them, and that early screening, trying to detect cancer before it becomes serious, is a huge part of the treatment process. It gives me a lot of hope.
For a full list of the Movember events and to donate, visit our website sutvnews.com and follow Ship IFC on Twitter.
Coming up after the break, NASA captures interesting footage of the sun.
Plus, the slate gives us a quick preview of what's hitting the stands this week.
Don't go away. Romanian Prime Minister resigned this week.
And take a look at some extraordinary footage from outer space.
Romania's Prime Minister is resigning after days of a deadly fire in Bucharest. Protesters angry over alleged corruption and government safety standards demanded Prime Minister Victor Ponta to step down. 32 people were killed and 150 injured when a fire broke out in a crowded nightclub. In other news, a Russian plane crash landed in Egypt Saturday 23 minutes after takeoff with no technical issues. 224 passengers died in the accident. The cause of this accident is still being investigated, but U.S. intel suggests the bomb is the most likely explanation. The Mexican Supreme Court issued a ruling paving a way for legalizing marijuana in the country. The court ruled in favor of allowing 4 people to smoke recreational marijuana. The national drug laws are still the same. Government officials say the case's precedent could reflect bigger changes ahead for marijuana use in Mexico. In other news, if you thought that looking at the sun could burn your eyes, well, you have to check this out. This is ultra-high definition video of the sun. NASA's Solar Dynamics Observatory captured these images using wavelengths invisible to the human eye. It shows the sun's rotation, solar flares, and nuclear fire. NASA also discovered a giant gathering of galaxies in a remote part of the universe. The cluster is located 8.5 billion light years from Earth. It's the most massive structure yet found at such a great distance. NASA's Spitzer Space Telescope and Wide Field Infrared Survey Explorer made the discovery. That's all I have for you
this week, we take a look at the issue of privacy in the digital age. We'll bring you field hockey and soccer recaps from the PSAC playoffs, and Bill Engvall takes the spotlight at lures and entertainment. We feature art professor Steve Dolbin and make it out to paint night in the Cub. Grab a copy of the Slate this Tuesday and keep up all week on theslateonline.com. I'm Tyler Law.
When we come back, we'll tell you if the heat wave is sticking around this weekend.
And it's time to live long and prosper with the new Star Trek series.
Stay with us. This week has been unseasonably warm for November.
Indeed it has. Let's take a look at the 5-day to see if we should expect more warm temperatures.
Summer weather has been creeping in on us these past few days. Tonight, clear skies and a low of only 55. Now tomorrow, partly cloudy skies to start the day, followed by some light rain, a high of 78 degrees. Now let's take a look at our 5-day. Saturday and Sunday, temperatures will be in the upper 50s with mostly sunny skies. To start off your week, sunny skies on Monday and showers on Tuesday. Partly cloudy skies and highs in the lower 60s every day. Have a terrific weekend.
If you're in need of a laugh, Ship has a last-minute solution. Tonight at 8, the Lore Center welcomes comedian Bill Engvall. Tickets can be bought online for anywhere between $49 to $65. On Wednesday, come sail away at the Lore Center as Styx comes to Shippensburg. The 6-man band, best known for their hit songs in the mid-70s, is on tour and giving fans a trip down memory lane. The band will include songs right up to its most recent album in 2005. Tickets start at $60. The 2015 Country Music Awards last night brought more than just good music and celebrities. Viewers caught on to a little drama. Tensions rose when singer Blake Shelton was seen with his new girlfriend and co-star Gwen Stefani. However, this did not ruin any of the fun for Miranda Lambert, as she happily accepted Female Vocalist of the Year. Other big winners were Chris Stapleton and Little Big Town with 3 awards each. Star Trek will celebrate a 50-year anniversary in 2016, but got an early birthday present when CBS announced the return of the popular television series this week. The show features new characters and civilizations, but continues the signature themes of the franchise. Alex Kurtzman, who co-wrote and produced the 2009 and 2013 Star Trek films, is the executive producer on the new show. The new Star Trek will only be available through CBS's streaming service, CBS All Access, and is set to come back in January of 2017. That's it for entertainment tonight. We'll see you next week.
Coming up, see if the Red Raiders held on to their 4-game winning streak.
And find out why Rob Fulton's name will be in the history books.
Stick around after this.
Welcome back to SUTV Sports. I'm Jake Gillespie. Coming off a major win against Cheney, the Red Raiders look to defeat Millersville. Paige Ahrensmeyer has your highlights.
Headed into the stadium, hoping the Red Raiders would march their way to a 5th straight win. This game was all Shippensburg when the Millersville punter bobbled a snap. Stephen Kane was there and recovers it for a touchdown, making it 7-0 Shippensburg. Shippensburg scores again moments later when Ryan Zapaticki fakes out our cameraman and the Millersville defense and throws 9 yards to Sheldon Mayer. It is 14-0. Shippensburg plays some great defense. Watch this big hit by Richard Nace as he sacks Millersville quarterback J.J. Page. The Red Raiders cannot recover the fumble but force Millersville to punt. Shippensburg is working all sides of the ball as Sheldon May returns this one. He'll head down the far side line, going 66 yards for the score. That made it 35-0 Ship. Mayer had a second punt return for a 91-yard touchdown as Shippensburg wins the game 63-7. They'll play Kutztown on Saturday with a chance to win the PSAC East title. For SUTV Sports, I'm Paige Ahrensmeyer.
The Red Raiders are now 7-2. Following the win against Millersville, 2 Red Raiders were honored for their performance. Zach Salzgiver has the story.
Richard Nace Jr. both earned PSAC East Player of the Week awards. Sheldon won PSAC East Special Teams Player of the Week, his second of the season after returning 2 punts for touchdowns. His second return was 91 yards, the second longest in school history and the 4th of his career.
It's a great honor, have it another week in a row, but once again, gotta give it up for the guys on that unit. I just pretty much run and score the ball and everyone talks about me, but the guys really this week really took up the challenge and performed very well, not only just getting me in the end zone twice, but they also got Andrew in, so it was a great team effort on that unit.
The Red Raiders broke a school record for sacks in a game with 10 against Millersville. Richard Nace Jr. led the way with 3.5. That performance earned him PSAC East Defensive Player of the Week.
Well, Richard is a great athlete, and he's only going to get better as time goes on here, and he's gotten better all through this season. So we're excited about his future. He's just got to keep working hard, and he's got the ability. It's just you got to learn the game. You got to learn the college game, and it takes some time. But he's catching on to it now, and you can see the results.
This is the first time Richard Nace has been honored as Player of the Week. Sheldon Mayer is being honored for the 3rd time this year. Jake Dunnigan was named PSAC Men's Swimmer of the Week for the 2nd time in his collegiate career. Dunnigan earned the title after winning 2 events in a hard-fought meet over the Fighting Falcons.
Pretty much every single race, and I knew a lot of other guys on the team were going to push as hard as they could, so I just wanted to do the same. And,
The team will host Gannon tomorrow at 6. It's not every year a Ship coach breaks a wins record, but women's soccer head coach Rob Fulton made 2015 a year to remember for Ship athletics.
Rob Fulton's soccer coaching career has taken him all the way across the country. He started his journey in his hometown of Fort Collins, Colorado. After a few stops along the way, he came to Shippensburg as an assistant.
Working with both the men's and women's programs, and at that time there was one coach for both programs, and then I arrived and we ended up splitting the programs, and that's kind of when I slid over to just the women's side and became the head coach here. So that's been the case for the last 10 seasons.
It didn't take Coach Fulton long to start putting solid seasons together. He says part of his success comes from good recruiting.
I've learned, I think, how to be a good recruiter, so I've learned how to deal with recruiting in a way of continuing to bring in good players to the program, but not only good players, good students, and also good people.
Fulton says that he didn't do this alone. He wanted to thank his parents.
My dad, he was a coach for a very long time, a high school football and track coach for many, many years, and so he's been a really positive influence in my life when it comes to coaching. So I've always been around coaching, although he hasn't coached soccer per se. I've been around it. I spent a lot of time in and around the various sports that he coached for so long.
Fulton knows that it's important to stay humble. In fact, he never even realized he had broken the wins record at Ship until getting on the bus.
We played Seton Hill on the road that day. I had no idea that I was there at that point, so we had won the game, and then after the game we got ready to go and loaded on the bus to leave Seton Hill's campus, and Acacia Reitmeyer, they had, I guess, tweeted something out through the Ship Athletics Twitter, and she read a tweet, and in the bus, and it was nice. Like I really had no idea that I was there.
After breaking a wins record, some coaches think about moving on to other things, but Fulton had different plans.
And certainly, I think all coaches can't ever shut the door on other opportunities that come along because you just don't know, but certainly there's no plans at the moment to leave. My family's well adjusted, and as long as I feel like I'm moving the program forward in different ways and stuff, I imagine I will remain at Ship. So.
Fulton is enjoying the win, but said the celebrations won't last long. He has to start recruiting for next season. Jake Gillespie, SUTV Sports. The women's soccer team made the PSAC playoffs, but lost in the first round to #1 Slippery Rock in double overtime. On Tuesday, the Red Raider field hockey team hoped to advance past Bloomsburg in the PSAC quarterfinals. SUTV's Tyler Baldwin has the results.
For the 16th time in the 17 seasons that Bertie Landis has been head coach of the field hockey team, the Raiders are back in the playoffs, this time taking on Bloomsburg University in a quarterfinal matchup. This game would be a battle of the goalies as Shippensburg's Taylor Webster came into the game with 66 saves and an 83% save rate. Bloomsburg's Lindsay Castle equally as impressive this season with 120 saves coming into the game and also an 83% save percentage. Let's jump ahead late in the first period as Bloomsburg is on the drive, able to get the ball towards the net. Webster's going to work a little bit of magic in goal before allowing Laura Gerhardt of Bloomsburg squeeze through. Bloomsburg would take the first bite in the lead 1-0 early in the first. A few minutes later, it's now Ship on the offensive as Molly Stewart is able to find Kendall Beck, and Beck would make this backhanded shot look easy. Beck's 7th goal of the season ties things up as Shippensburg and Bloomsburg would remain tied until the second half. As night falls on Shippensburg, the Raiders backed into their own corner, and the Huskies will take advantage, shooting one past a diving Webster to regain the lead late in the second, 2-1. Kendall Beck said she's not having any of that as she passes the corner into Susan Moeller, who hits a hard shot that'll deflect off of Beck's stick, and that'll make that her second goal of the night and retie things back up 2-2 with Bloomsburg late in the second half. The score would remain 2-2, and we would head to overtime for some free hockey. Overtime wouldn't last long, though, as Bloomsburg's Tally Wayner is able to steal the ball, and she's off to the races. Wayner carving up the Shippensburg defense weeks before Thanksgiving before she's able to find teammate Sam Peters, who is able to put the goal in, and that will do it for the Raiders season as Bloomsburg advances with a 3-2 win to face Millersville on Friday. For SUTV, I'm Tyler Baldwin.
The Raiders finished the season with a record of 13-6. Well, that's the end of a packed week in sports. I'm Jake Gillespie. Let's send it back to the desk.
That's it for SUTV News. I'm Marina Barnett.
And I'm Luis DeSanto. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at SUTV News. and check out our website, sutvnews.com.
We'll see you next time.